Tomorrow, we're going to sit and see. Let there be peaceful demonstrations. Let there be peaceful demonstrations. Kenyans will remember that we were actually bold and said tomorrow is a public holiday. If anybody was doubting, William Ruto has himself confirmed that tomorrow is a public holiday. In honor of our young Kenyans. And I can't understand, truly, I would take a lot of convincing by people who are with us in the struggle for justice. In 2023, Raila Odinga and I and Eugene and Mother were nearly killed. 60 young Kenyans were felled. And 2024, young people did better than us. They breached the Central Business District. How can we disown those young people for pecuniary gain, for money? It can't be for fame. It can only be for infamy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is a man who has so many strengths. One of them is that he has been in politics for quite some time. Number two, his character is that of a leader, in that he has known so many bad things that are following him. Thirdly, Kalonzo Musyoka is a bit decisive. Let me say that. That's something that most of you can maybe try to oppose, but the fact is, he has been on the position consistently, unlike Raila Amolo Odinga. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Kalonzo Musyoka, as we speak today, is among the most patient and also forgiving leaders in this country. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka, because of this experience and able to have a good party and a region that he controls, he's one of the potential presidential candidates within the opposition. Those are the strengths that I've just quoted. In some videos, I've also cited some of the weaknesses of Kalonzo Musyoka, which include lack of aggressiveness to an extent that Rigathi Gachagua, who recently joined them in opposition, has now surpassed him and is like the opposition leader that you have in the country today. So, considering that he has been around in the country and that he's one of the bigwigs in the politics, he could have been right now the official opposition leader in the country, but he has slept on his job. But now, I want to say that of late, Kalonzo Musyoka has started acting smart when it comes to trying to consolidate and maybe create a new base for him for 2027. And that is the youth league, the youth base that he's trying to create. Now, what has Kalonzo done to ensure at least he's creating himself politically, developing himself politically? That is going to form the basis of this analysis here today. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mokwa Times, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now, recently, actually, if you remember last year, 25th of June 2024, sorry, we had protests in the country and youths were killed. So, without anyone saying it, there were intentions that we are going to celebrate yesterday, that is 25th of June, to remember our fallen soldiers. In addition to some of the things that happened within this period of 1 year, like now the killing of Albert Ojwang, the death of, the shooting of Boniface Kariuki and many others, it's a clear indication that youths, either way, they had to come to the streets. But with regard to these protests that Kenyans were planning, especially the youths, Kalonzo Musyoka saw an opportunity and bounced on it. That is declaring the 25th of June of this year a public holiday. He said it, and people probably took it not seriously. But the fact remains that announcement that he made, despite it not have so much weight on what happened, the fact is that he associated himself to some political strength that was not there before. He was trying to say it is like Raila Amolo Odinga could say this is a public holiday and something happens. And probably, he also want the youths on board. So therefore, what Kalonzo said, it is significantly, I can say here that it is significantly, I can say here that it is politically significant. So in a nutshell, Kalonzo Musyoka acted smart. To an extent, he found himself now as a person who will be taken, that the person who announced that this was a national holiday. Take for him. Despite it did not give him huge mileage, I believe it was a nice move. It was a bold move. As if that was not enough, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the leader of Wiper Party, appeared to this protest in person. He took flowers and actually presented them to the parliament buildings. That was tremendous. Accompanied by other leaders, he took there and laid flowers in respect to those who had fallen last year. So in a nutshell, when you look at that keenly, the courage to get out of the streets, the youths are seeing that it doesn't put him on a bad side. No. Such kind of actions, they place him in a safer part, or maybe safer side of the youths, in that if he's the presidential candidate, he can be considered by the youth of this country as one of them. Very important. I'm saying it is important, the appearance, because there are leaders who could not manage to get to the street on one reason or the other. Like Dr. Kevin Fred Matiang'i could not manage because of reasons that we all know. Secondly, there's also another group like that of Rigathi Gachagua did not come out to the streets. We have so many people across who did not come due to insecurity and many other reasons. But him coming out, that was tremendous. Thirdly, Kalonzo Musyoka did not just stop at the announcement of the public holiday and appearing in the streets. Previously, he had also given so many statements to actually cement the chance that, or maybe the position that the youth of this country have the right to get to the streets and demonstrate peacefully, because that is the provision of the Constitution. So therefore, such kind of pronouncements, they also place him on the safer side of the youths, in that at some point, the youths can consider him. It's very critical. It's very critical. I'm also trying to see it from a distance that Raila Amolo Odinga spoke, let me say, cheekily. But Kalonzo Musyoka was straightforward. Raila Amolo Odinga was trying to hide behind ODM, but we saw what he meant. But when you listen to Kalonzo Musyoka, you can see that he was straightforward, and he meant that Kenyans will be in the streets, and that is a constitutional right. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there's another statement Kalonzo Musyoka made from the streets. There's now lack of fear that whatever the government does, he will be part of it. Despite that he was not there for the rest of the day when the Mandamano had picked very well, Kalonzo Musyoka came out. And such kind of courage to maneuver through the police and eventually present your flowers to the people, to parliament buildings, along parliament buildings, that was tremendous. And that is something that Kalonzo Musyoka has done to actually align himself and together with some other leaders to the youth of this country. Now, some people could say that this probably is not politically significant, but it is. It is, ladies and gentlemen. Considering that, Kalonzo Musyoka, once Raila branded him a watermelon, it has been so difficult to get that tag out of him. Despite standing with Raila for 3 times, despite coming out also to help Raila in demonstrations here and there, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has not yet broken the chains of watermelon. So these kind of steps, when he makes them, I feel good, or maybe I have to recognize them, because he's at least doing something than before. Now, people could be asking, why is he doing this? The first thing, it is that Rigathi Gachagua came in, and the way he's making pronouncements right, left, and center is likely to take the youths to any side. So people are trying to check also which, like the people in opposition want to also see, how are we going to be better? How am I going to have chances to become the presidential candidate? So that is basically what is pushing Kalonzo Musyoka also to make such kind of moves. There are so many other things that will happen, like moving across the country, going to court on behalf of those who have been arrested, and even probably ensuring that those who are killed are facing justice in one way or the other. And that is okay. But I hope Kalonzo does more campaigns, moves across the country, go get friends, go source funds, so that in case the chance is presented to him, there are no other things, it's not so much that is given to him also, so that he finds like he's personally sufficient enough to face President William Ruto come 2027. Don't know what's your take. That's my observation as far as demonstrations are concerned. But please, on the comment section, don't fail to share with me on what you think about my topic on Kalonzo Musyoka. See you next time for more videos.